It depends. So, dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, can you hear me well? Yeah? Okay. My voice, I will raise my voice as along when the talks go on. It's usually like that. Yeah. So you have received the sutra that we sent to you. Okay. So today's talk is based on that. And of course that it depends on how we see, how we understand the sutra, okay, according to a recent situation of our society right now, and also ourselves. So thank you, first of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I can see so many new faces, and I hope that what I share today is beneficial. And I hope at the end of the section you can learn something. So the sutra is along with the stream. And that is from Anguttura Nikaya. And it's when I read this sutra, it reminds me so much that we're very lucky. We're very lucky people that we belong to the second kind of person in the sutra. The second person is who goes against the stream. And when you go against the stream, it's not easy, but we're very fortunate that we know that we go against the stream. So the question is, how do we know, or how can we know what kind of stream is that? And it's the stream of, for me, when I read the sutra, it's related to the stream of life. So the four kinds of persons that found existing in the world: one who goes against the stream, and one who is inwardly firm inside, and one who has crossed over and gone beyond. So when I look at my look deeply, I see that, oh, I'm very fortunate. I belong to the second person kind of person who go against the stream. I'm not totally so who has abandoned the 5 defilements. I'm still get stuck with it. Sometimes, not all the time. But and for the fourth one, who has crossed over and gone beyond, it is the Buddha taught about who have transcend all the suffering, afflictions, and you know, complete the practice. Is arahant people, arahants. So we're not up there yet. We just today we know that we belong to the second kind of person who existed in the world, that we go against the stream. So for me, first we have to define what kind of stream that the Buddha talked about. So the first one is the five is about stream of lust, sense pleasures, old age, and birth, and performing bad deeds. In this discourse on knowing the better way to live alone, and this person who go along the stream is a person who been swept away by the present. So Buddha said that someone does not study or learn anything about the awakened one, or the teaching of love and understanding, or the community that lives in harmony and awareness. When that person knows nothing about the noble teachers and their teachings, and does not practice these teachings, and thinks, this body is myself, I am this body. These feelings are myself, I am these feelings. This perception is myself, I am this perception. This mental formation is myself, I am this mental formation. This consciousness is myself, I am this consciousness. So this is, the Buddha said that the one who's been swept away by the present, who this kind of person go along the stream. So after we know that we belong to the second one, because we have a chance to study and learn about the awakened one. We learn the Dharma. We have the community like tonight. So we're not the one who's been swept away by the present. And sometimes, this is sometime that we're still on the path that are the practice that we don't see. We don't think that this body is myself, and I am this body. Especially perceptions and feelings and all the mental formations. So we learn that to see that they're not separate self. They're not a separate entity, and we don't own this body, because the body is composed by other conditions. So we're learning. It doesn't mean that we don't think that this body is me, or I am this body. When we sick, we suffer too. But the thing is, we are on the path. We are practicing. So at least that we know that we don't get stuck with it anymore. We know that we have the way out when we suffer. It's related very much to the responses that Will sent to me. It's about grief, about loneliness, about selfishness, and the past wound, especially the second wave of COVID-19. I'm asking you right now, are we being swept away by these kind of things, by these kind of matters right now? Or we know that they are impermanent? Have you ever asked yourself that? Grief, everybody has to die, including us. But have we ever thought of it? We have, but we're not really, feel it because our body is still healthy. So somehow we belong to the second existed person, but we, like Thầy said, that we are part-time Buddha. We're not a full-time Buddha yet. So that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. So, you know, it's the stream that we go along with the stream, going along with the stream, like we encountering grief, loneliness, sadness, and the pain, or um, you know, something that it makes us feel very make us suffer so much. So we get drowned in this matter. And how long that we realize that, oh, I don't have to get stuck with it because they're impermanent. But how many of us can live with the impermanence wisdom or teaching, you know? This is from and these things that it show us very much that how strong that we how strong of our determination in our practice. And when I you know, look at the sutra, read the sutra, and I say, wow, I see that I'm a very lucky person, that I know the teaching. I know the teaching, and I'm trying. I'm still trying, you know. And so we have to define that in that stream of life, what things that we are still get stuck. Are still, you know, the sutra mentioned about the 5 factors. The 5 lower factors is the identity view. Just like the part of the sutra I just read, you think that this body is myself and I am this body, or these feelings, perceptions, mental formations are myself. So this is kind of identity view. You see that this is me, but we know that we're still learning to not to get caught in it. So so the second factor is doubts in the Buddha, in the Dharma, and also in the Sangha. So the thing is, do you believe in the Buddha, or do you believe in the teachings? If you don't, it means that you are free from that factors. It means that the factors here is, it doesn't mean that you get liberated when you let go, or you don't get caught in these factors. Which factors that you can you don't get caught, is mean that you are free from that factor. You know what I mean? It's just like when you receive the 5 mindfulness training, you say that, okay, I just take one training, and if you be free from that training, it means that, you know, you can practice that. It means you're free from it. The same true is to factors. If you don't have doubt in the 3 in the Buddha, in the teachings, at least in the practice that you are doing right now, you don't have doubt in the people who practicing with us. So it means that you're free from that. And the second one is sensual desire. Well, I will let you decide how strong you will be free from this. I cannot tell. um, but at least that we receive the 5 mindfulness training, so we know what we should do, and how much that we can be free from it. And for monastics, we live a chastity life, and mm, you know we have so many precepts, so and we have so many rules. So I see that somehow it's this kind of protection. So we don't have relationship, and um, we live the the chastity life. So it's very protection for us. And the 4th one is ritual rules. So we don't get stuck with the ritual rules that it has to be this way. We have to worship it this way, and we have to follow this way. So we like the worship. So the Buddha didn't say that, oh, you have to worship me. You have to do this, and you have to do that. But the Buddha said that you have to find your awakened nature inside of you. There's no form to be free. You don't have to get stuck with the form outside in the worship or in this and that. So the only thing the Buddha said that the freedom that you can find is deep down in yourself. That's all that he asked us to do. And the 5th factor is ill will. So it's feelings of hatred and dislike. And when you have ill will, you can do a lot of things bad. So this is kind of stream that first, the stream of the 5 skandhas. You see them as you are, as yourself, or you are the 5 skandhas, the first stream. And the second one is the factors, or the factors that you get stuck. So if life, I see that when we live in this life, we still suffer because our loved ones pass away. So we have grief. We experience grief. And when our body is not well, we experiencing pain and this discomfort. And when somebody says something or do something and make you hurt, like your wound inside, when in your childhood you experience a bad experience. So everybody have experienced all kind of things. But the thing is, are we get stuck with them? So if we stuck with them, it means that we go along with the stream. So it means that you people suffer, we suffer. People happy, we happy. And life satisfies you, you're happy, and life doesn't satisfy you, you're sad. It means that you go along with the stream. So the question, the thing, the matter for the path that we're doing right now, your practice right now is, despite that we experience suffering, despite that we experience grief, pain, separation, and loneliness, but we don't get drowned in it. And the keys for this is how can we stay with the present moment with a clear comprehension, a clear knowledge. Things come. Just like when you go to when the weather is cold, you experience cold. When the weather is hot, we experience hot. But we don't say that, I don't want hot. I don't want the weather being hot. Or I don't want winter. It's not like that. We just be there and experience it. And then when it passes, it passes. We don't say that, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. When the nature of all phenomena is just like that. So as the second kind of person, we go against the stream. It means that we experience the same thing as everybody. But the thing is, how can we be still free from these things? That's the role of as is our responsibility as a practitioner. Just like the book that he wrote, "Be free wherever you are." Even the people in the prison, they are free also. So when we experience sadness and pain, are we still free? Well, from my own experience, I be honest, I'm still get stuck in it sometimes. So for you, do you ask yourself that what kind of thing that you get stuck? It means that you experience something and you still suffer and get stuck. You don't know how to get out of it. When something like that is mean that you have to go against the stream. When you, can you imagine that you swim against the flow of the river? It's very hard. And in the sutra say that a wise person with mindfulness established, not resorting to sense pleasure and bad deeds, should give up sense pleasures even if it's painful. So it means that we experience something bad and something that not pleasant, very painful, but thanks to the mindfulness, we can stay with the present moment, and we acknowledge, we recognize and live with the present situation without pain or um, irritation. So this is not easy to do. The thing is how calm our mind when we deal with this matter. So we need a lot of courage. We need a lot of calmness. We need a lot of patience. We need a lot of tolerance. They're this kind of tools that, like a strength when you swim against the flow of the water, the river. So it's if we know that what kind of thing that we cannot control yet, it means that you still, can you imagine when you go uphill, you ride the bicycle uphill and you have to give so much energy and strength to ride up to the hill. It's the same when you have to, you experience suffering, you experience all the bad things happen to us, but we stay with the present moment and be mindful with your state of mind, be mindful with your feelings, your perceptions, and all kind of mental formation that you have to face, just like all the obstacles, just like the force that it push you down while you try to go up. Can you visualize that image? This kind of challenges as a practitioner has to deal with. So that's why the freedom in your mind is not easy to get. You go down the hill, it's easy, right? When you ride the bicycle and you're going down the hill, it's so easy. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to spend or you use any energy. But if you go uphill, you ride the bicycle uphill, and there's a lot of bumps and a lot of, the road, it's just curly like this. And it's really, it depends on how challenges that you have to deal with. So it makes the hill is higher and you have to use a lot of energy to deal with it, to ride up. So the Buddha said that even is painful, your face full of tears, but these people completely free. So do you see your role in the practice? You see your responsibility in the practice, and you know where you are right now? Are you still at the foot of the hill? Are you in the middle? Are you really up to the hill? And it depends on how high the hill is also. So the Buddha teach us very, very clear. And they say that you know that this person existed, just like the people right now in this section. We are riding the bicycle uphill. And it depends on how strong you are. Strong here is your strength to ride up the hill is your faith. Your faith, your diligence. And the main key is how mindful we are in our daily life. This is a very good bicycle. Have a good bicycle to go uphill. Oh, that's exhausted already. If you buy a very expensive bicycle, it's already good. So this kind of thing that, you have to, you see clearly that are we embody these elements yet? Mindfulness, faith, diligence. And can you recognize all your obstacles, the internal obstacles? I'm reading the book about the Satipatthana Sutra from other master. They say if you have resultant tension in your mind, you cannot enjoy the present moment. So it means that anything that is start our mind, we lose the present moment. If we have worry, we lose the present moment easily. If we get stuck with something, like for me, I suffer because of my perception, or it's not perception, but some matter that I consider it has to be that way. How you say that? You know, like things has to be in this way and or that way. Your view, you know, that causes tension because life always gives you surprises. It's not always, you know, it's, oh, this is what I expected. You say this sentence more, like a few times in a day, so, oh, it's just like I expected. You are lucky people. But most of the time that, oh, I encounter a bad day today because, you know, I experience fools new surprises and it's against my view. Experience it. So the Buddha said that life is suffering, but the thing is, he also gives us the tools of the bare or a mere recognition. We recognize, just bare recognition, recognize what's going on, happen to us, or what's going on inside of us. That's the factors of mindfulness. But he didn't say that, oh, you have to get caught in it, you know. So he gives us a tool, mere recognition, embrace it, accept it, and letting go, and contemplate all the things like, the wisdom of impermanence, the wisdom of interdependent co-arising. This kind of tool that you can show us the way that we can see life in different angles, in different perspectives. It's just like a doctor to give you a medicine. Say, take it, experience it. So they say that's why we never heard the Buddha said that you have to believe in me. He never said that. And also to Thai, our teacher, he said you don't have to believe me. You have to test the practice first. You bring the practice into yourself and practice in yourself. Come and see directly. Taste it yourself. So it means that, you know, like, oh, we happy that we belong to the second person, kind of person. But how much that we try, you know. So this is some question that for us to check in, that am I uncontrol of my feelings? At the moment I am uncontrolled. I get stuck sometimes. Do I think that the 5 skandhas are myself, or I am the 5 skandhas? And how far have we contemplated about this? And I'll be mindful, yes, but it's just on the surface only. We need to go deeper to check in our views, to check in our perceptions. And usually our views, our thinking, it cause tension in our mind and cause a lot of conflicts in the side. And for me, it's the more we have internal conflict, the more we forgetting the present moment. Because our mind, you know, is very tricky. It's just like some interesting things, exciting, especially conflicts in us. And we're so excited about it. We pay all our attention to our conflicts. And we totally forget the present moment. Do you feel that way too? When we have something that is bothering us, you know, we forgot, oh, there is a nice full moon tonight. As the trees so green today. Oh, there's a new flowers. Do you recognize that when your mind is busy? No, it's very rare. Yeah. So whenever we forget the present moment, it means that we go along the stream. Very simple. So we switch from the first kind and the second kind of person alternately very often. So as the Buddha told us that it's not easy, but with your strong faith, very a strong faith in what we do practicing, that's a tool. Sometimes I blame myself that why my practice is still so weak, is get caught in such a mental pattern. If I receive this kind of triggers, I have the same kind of mental pattern of reaction. I feel so ashamed, and also get angry with myself. Also, it's why you've been practicing so long. Are you still get stuck with it? I say, yeah. So I'm still learning to accept myself. And I think that accept just myself to move on from now. Everybody make mistakes. So do I. So the only thing that I feel regret is I cause other people suffering. But I think that the practice is a long journey. Everybody try their best, and every one of us. So for me, I'm not afraid. I will muck up with the people I make them suffered. But at least that I can see myself very much from that mistake. And I promise myself that I will not repeat that mistake. But it doesn't mean that you can start right away, because this kind of habit, it's kind of it's very strong energy inside of us. And when your mind not calm enough, it push you do sort of things. So when I'm doing that, I become the first kind of person go along the stream. I say, okay, I'm going up. I'm so a little bit tired, and then I turn around, I go down, and then I go up again. I don't know how many times I go down and go up again, you know. But the thing is, I never give up. Every time you realize, you feel pity for yourself also, you know. Sometimes I feel pity for myself. I say, oh gosh, what are you doing, Luong Nghiem? But it's just, I think it's just how I experience my life every day like that, you know. If that's why the Buddha said that you have to accept yourself, a perfect person who make mistakes and know how to change from it. Nobody, you know, there's no perfect person who has no mistake. I don't believe that. But, you know, we try ourselves to, after we make mistakes, we go downhill, and we say, oh, it's the wrong way, we have to go up again. And make our life very interesting. We challenge ourselves. Challenge is mean here is not you challenge people how to you know, satisfy all your needs, but you challenge yourself how to be there with your challenges. I don't call it difficulties. I call it challenge. So it's just like when the tree is higher, is when it grows higher, it cut the wind much more than a shorter one. So that's why when you practicing a long time, you experience a lot of things that you know you have to deal with, different methods. So it's, as I say, that I always have surprises. Sometimes I surprise myself, you know. So, oh gosh, why I do that, you know. And it's just a shame when you share with people. I say, okay, I will hide my mistake. I just know in myself. I say, I will try my best from now. But it's just part. It's part of life. Today here is so windy. We're going to have a storm very soon in Thailand. So it's everything has a price, you know. So the more you try, you have more freedom. And stay with the second kind person more and more. I mean, go against the stream. So I believe that everybody understand what does it mean by mindfulness. Yeah. If you're not sure, check it again. Because the more you practice, the meaning of mindfulness is changing. It's go deeper level. It's your understanding about mindfulness is will change as long as you really taste it. From something you can touch to the level, the subtle level. For example, your behavior, what kind of root that lead to that behavior, your views. Sometimes you have some a very deep kind of view that is just, it lies very deep in your consciousness, and it's control your behavior, your deeds, your speech, your behavior. But if you're calm enough, you can see this kind of thing because of your strong mindfulness. So it's it depends on how much we stay with the present moment. As long as you stay with the present moment, you can see how, for me, I don't know how about you, but the more I stay with the present moment, the more how messy I am inside. We easily get stuck with a lot of things. So it's the first step, we need to see that you're a true being. It doesn't matter bad or good. You have to see yourself true being. You have this kind of habit energies, this kind of behavior, this kind of views, this kind of thinking. All of this is it will let you understand yourself much more. I love to see my true being, and sometimes I have to laugh at it because it's like, oh gosh, it takes a lot of time to really understand these things. And again, if you know me before I ordained, you will run away. Very terrible. It's not like you you're already lucky. You as a lay, and you have been practicing, and you know the practice, and you know how to stop, you know how to breathe. But for me, before I ordained, I was very terrible. Oh well, just laugh is good. But I see that this kind of thing, it takes when I realize that, I know that it takes a lot of time to transform. And as we see that whatever we make us right now, we have the roots from our blood family, our parents. My father is a very hot-tempered person, and so am I. So I cannot blame him. So my job is how to recognize it and transform it in me, so I can transform that in him. It doesn't mean that I told him, oh, you need to transform this. No, it's not. Because that kind of thing is in me. He is in me. So if I can transform that in me, I will have a very strong effect to my father's behavior, habit. So this is how I truly believe. And I you can do that. You don't ask your family to do this and do that to transform themselves, because they don't have the chance to encounter dharmas like you. But at least that your influence to them already good. So that's what I believe, and that's what I'm doing. And I do something on their behalf. I do something good on their behalf. So they don't have to know, because I know that they in us, and I cannot force them to do as I do, but because I love them very much, and I know they love me. So everything has what I call everything happened for a reason. How you know that you have to encounter the Dharma is a great fortune. And I'm deeply grateful for that. So I don't want to become a person being swept away by the present moment. And the Buddha, mentions everything that we have to be in the present moment. It doesn't matter how painful experience you're facing, but the more you be present, and you know that you need to be courageous. Going uphill is hard. Be present and embrace, recognize and embrace the pain in your heart is hard. But the more we try, we know that one day you can reach the top of the hill. That's the message that the Buddha wants to say to us. And the question I'm asking for you to contemplate, that is loneliness is permanent? I am, and all the pains and the wounds inside. As long as we don't, what is the word to chew again and again? What is the right word?
Ruminate.
Ruminate, yeah, just like a cow. You know, I think that the past wound can it will become stronger and stronger, and never go away when we ruminate every day, every moment. Especially our mind's not happy. Our mind is very interesting, you know. It just want to it got attracted to something dramatic or something very exciting. So the key is being present to see you don't let your mind get stuck with that. And if you see that you still stuck with your wound, the internal wound, try to be in the present moment more and more. Because sometimes that the past wound is mean that it's hurting you still. It means that you return, you make the past become the present. From what I learned, that the past plus emotion, when you think about it, it will become the present experience. It's not the past anymore. You know, the past, there's a lot of things in the past, but there's no emotion in it. You just remember it, and then you can let it go. So whenever you experience the past, try to breathe. Try to add your breath in the past. So don't make it become the present wound, not the past wound anymore. Try to forget it if you can. You know, the shorter you stay with your past wound, the better. You don't have to stay with your past wound. You know that it exists, but it doesn't mean that you get stuck with it, right? As long as you make your, that's why the practice of cultivate joy and happiness in the present moment is really important. When you're stuck with the past, try to practice cultivating joy and happiness in the present moment. So take your mind back to the present. And the question that about a core Sangha experience tiredness, fatigue recently, low energy, you know, organize so much online activities. Yeah, I hope that Will and Ivan and Lee don't get tired from organizing all this kind of activity. It's happened anyway. So the key is when you support others, ourselves have to, you know, be happy and are willing to do. There's a joy doing that. But as long as you feel tired, well, maybe it's a time for us to take a break. You need to take care of yourself first before you care for others. Please put the mask on the airplane before you put on the children, right? That's a flying intention crew on the plane always say, put the mask for you first before you help others. This is the same. When you organize things for others, you have to take care of yourself first. Is it that easy? So easy. But that's why in our daily practice is important. So the more you stay, you serve the Sangha, it means that you're giving more, you're taking in. You're giving out more, you're taking in. So it means that you have some kind of capacity to take care of yourself, to how to enjoy the practice, and generate all the happiness that you're doing in a daily life. For the grief question, it depends on again that our calm mind will support others a lot. Just like here, when we want to send good energy, peaceful energy to people, we just read the name and we chant, evoke the Buddha in the Bodhisattva's name. So we send our energy to them because we don't know them, right? But we send our heart and our energy, good energy to them. And if you know your relative, your cousins, in experiencing grief, there's a lot of things you can do. Make a phone call. You say that if you don't know how to say, use a message. Use the mantra that they taught. I know you're suffering. I'm here for you. That's it you can say. Is there anything I can do for you? Very simple. When I not sad, I just need somebody just be there for me, so I don't feel lonely. It's good enough already, So that person doesn't have to do anything. Be around. Offer your presence. It's good enough. And the key is supporting others and do a volunteering job. I think it depends on your heart. Your bodies can get tired, but your mind, your heart, not tired. And it doesn't relate to living simple or peaceful life. As monastic, we really very simple, but we're supporting others. So living a simple life is mean that you have more time to support. It doesn't mean that you live a simple life and peaceful life. It means that you stop contacting people or supporting. That's what we are. We don't have family. We don't have anything. Just a bed, one bed, and one study table, and that's it. And we take care of others because we don't have anything else to worry about. So we have more time to practice, to support. And that is, you know, we live a simple life, a very peaceful. Right now in Plum Village, Thailand, we're repairing the ground for the big meditation hall. All the, you know, the trees and rocks. And it's, we make I will take some pictures and show you. We have an open sky right now in front of, you know, between the brothers and sisters quarters. When you come here again, you never recognize that Plum Village, Thailand, as you experienced before. It's just like you have an open sky, and you can see the Buddha under the Bodhi tree. And I just feel like I have more air, a fresh air to breathe, you know. And it's still under construction. And it's really nice. And it's the, you know, see, the situation or the place is still the same, but depends on how we cultivate it and make things different. We feel differently. So we go back to our daily life practice. If we want to go to uphill, if we want to ride uphill more and more, and the hill never stops. If you really got to the top of the hill automatically become higher for you to challenge again. You know, it's never stay the same. Believe me, it's never stay the same. So it's give a sense of you know, happy, because I'm reaching to the hill, top of the hill, but you say, oh, I still have a very far away, a long way to go, but it's good. I'm up here right now. I'm not going downhill. You know. So we have to rely on our daily practice. We have to be diligent. And you know that what are you doing is the right things to do. Gives rise to the feelings of gratitude, joy, and happiness. Even though you're going uphill, you feel tired, painful, but you have freedom. That is worth it. We have to know that it's worth it to do. So a practitioner is a courageous person. You have to know that. A coward person cannot go very far. If you cannot face your habit energy to transform it, it means that you turn around and going downhill. You have to be courageous to enter the battle. The battle of ourselves. You don't fight with others. So you make the battle is more interesting. There's no enemy outside, okay? So it's just us. It doesn't matter how far we have to go, but at least that we're happy that we go to the, you know, we go to the right, we on the right direction, the right path, the right you know, mm, the happy, we go to the happy ending. um, so take some time to look back to ourselves, that what we have accomplished in a practice, how far we have been gone, and how much challenge that we can overcome. So you should be happy. You should be happy. And one of the master is his Bhikkhu Analayo. He said that you should celebrate the happy time when you don't feel you have any factors, when you don't have any problems. You should celebrate. So it push up your your energy. So daily practice more makes you gain confidence in the practice, confidence in yourself. And we have the path as a great gift after all. So it's it doesn't matter that how far we need to go, but we have the path. Even though the path has to go very high and high, and there are a lot of challenges. The challenges, I believe that this kind of challenges is against our desires, against our wishes, against all the habit energies. And the more we try, we will have more freedom, at least a peace of mind. And this, I think this is, for me, it will be the answer for all our matters. It doesn't matter what kind of matter we have to deal with from now, but at least that we know how to get out of it, because we have freedom. Well, thank you so much. And I think that I show you riding uphill so much today. But at least that we enjoy riding uphill together. I know that I try to make this life to be worth it. That's all I know. For the second wave of the COVID-19 right now happening and everywhere right now, you know that people have more fear, a stronger fear. And because the symptom of the COVID is changing, it's not the same anymore. So If we try to be calm and do nothing to respond to the irritation in a society, the better. The calmness and peace is all you need right now. And you know that every one of us, into our and others' irritation will affect us also. Even just only the news also affect us. So be careful what kind of news you're reading, you're receiving. So I wish everyone I have a very happy practice and happy riding uphill together. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Suko, for your amazing, touching teaching. Can I invite everyone to listen to 3 sounds of the bell as we let the teaching come into every cell of our body and turn our bicycles around. So let us find a comfortable position in wherever we are and however we are sitting, and come back to our breathing as we ride uphill together with our breath. So listen. The sound of the bell bring us back to our true home. So we can also maybe join our palms as we share the merits for tonight's practice. With our in-breath, we bring to mind whoever we want to send this peaceful energy, this collective energy to. And with our out-breath, we send that energy out. Practicing the trainings, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefit without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path. So dear Sangha, you can unmute yourself and say good night to everyone, to our teachers. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you,
tonight.
sister.
Good night,
Thank you so
sister.
much.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Carmen.
night. Good
Good
night, all.
night.
Night,
Take
everybody.
care.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Thank you,
Trish.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Night.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.